Hello, Iris Zero here. Hope you're all well. I'm good. Thank you very much for asking. So, last Saturday was the PlayStation Experience press conference. The whole weekend, I think Saturday and Sunday was the whole event. If you were in San Francisco, they had a bunch of live streams. But the big press conference was on at about 6 o'clock here in Ireland on Saturday. And it was a really, really, really good show. Now, while there were a lot of games that I was really excited about, like we showed more of Uncharted, Nino Kuni 2 was awesome, but showed a load of indie games. The VR stuff really had my interest. Now I just want to try VR. And Rez is back, who can, how that in itself is cool enough. But of course, I think one of the big show stealers was the gameplay, the first ever gameplay footage of Final Fantasy VII Remake. And I don't know if I predicted, if I talked about my other videos last week, but I was full sure, I was hoping and predicting that's what they would show. Because I think they said at E3, it's like, oh yeah, we'll have more on Final Fantasy VII in the winter. Finally showed it, looks amazing, even though it was brief, and it's only the first section of the game. Which I have to say, honestly, I think that's all they have so far. That's in any kind of showable. I think everything we saw was the only part that was like showable, presentable. But what I did really love, which no one really picked up on, was the fact that all the dialogue in the game was in English, with what are probably the final voice actors. And that is unbelievably cool, because it shows that they're probably working it side by side. Now, they could have just recorded the dialogue specifically for that video, because I remember, if you listen to the old Kojima podcasts, the Kojima Productions podcast, when they talked about Metal Gear Solid 4, they talked about how some trailers, they recorded the dialogue specifically for that trailer. Even though they weren't ready to do that scene, they did it for trailer. So this is probably the case, but either way, it was great. And it shows that it's, it's ready, it's active. But what the big news, which came out late last night, or probably early today, was the fact that it could be episodic. It's not. It sounds like that's what it's going to be. It could be released in parts, and each part, they said, is going to be the length of like a full-size game. Now, if this means the game comes out early or earlier than expected, I don't think it's coming out till the 20th anniversary, which is 2017. But if it somehow manages to come out next year, which is probably unlikely because there's still Final Fantasy 15 that has to come out, and that'll probably take up most of Square Enix's advertising budget priorities. That, and of course they have Deus Ex and they have Hitman. But if somehow that made it come out next year, that would be super, super awesome. And it's an interesting way to do it. Now, obviously, what a lot of people do is just wait until the final chapter or the final part comes out, because usually how they do those things is with episodics, like, here's the whole game, oh, by the way, last chapter, here's the disc with everything. Or some people, kind of like with TV shows, or what I do with Telltale games, I wait until all episodes are out, then I play the whole game at once. But I think it's really cool, and it's a very, very interesting approach to take to this remake. Rather than giving you a full 100-hour plus game, it's like, no, we're going to give you like 10 bits in 10 hours. So that's exciting. But yeah, PSX, it was a good show, but this video is about Final Fantasy VII. I cannot wait to play Final Fantasy VII. I actually bought the remake, or not the remake, the remaster, the port for PlayStation 4. I'm playing that at the moment. And just to fly through the game, the story, I'm using the battle cheat, which is super great, the fact that it doesn't disable trophies. So if you want to fly through the game, you can still, you can use the battle thing, and all it does is, it doesn't even boost your stats. It just gives you your limit break. So that's super cool. You still have to work, you have to build up your stats, your strength, your materia, all that stuff. And it doesn't give you extra money, unlike the PC and iPad version. So yeah, it's a great way to kind of, it's a great way to kind of get excited for it again, even though it's probably not going to be out for another year, maybe even 2 years. Probably mightn't come out until the end of 2017. Who knows? But still, super, super excited. And on an added note as well, Gone Home's coming to PlayStation 4 in January. So January, Gone Home and The Witness, 2 indie games, but very excited about, all coming out. Can't wait. So yeah, that's it for me for today.